Hey, everybody. Welcome to Making Connections. This is your girl, Aly. I hope everybody's having an amazing day. Taylor, can you hear me talking?
Oh yeah, I can. Yep.
Okay. So you flip your headphones up. I was like,
Yeah, I just
oh,
wanted to test them out. Yeah, but
okay.
yeah, we're
Okay,
good.
cool. Awesome. So I hope everybody had a great weekend. We just celebrated Father's Day. And, we always send out love to everybody because we know Father's Day, Mother's Day, those kind of days hit different for different people. So, but I hope you were able to have a good celebration. Hi, Tammy. Thank you for tuning in. And so I hope you were able to have a good celebration with family and friends, regardless. And we know that today is Juneteenth. So happy Freedom Day. So it's got a lot of celebrating going on, Taylor. Well, how
Yep.
are you today?
Good. How about you?
I'm good. I'm good. So this is Taylor. Now he's part of the family, the Making Connections family. Taylor's been cool and he's been, following us and liking a lot of our stuff. And I was like, let's just get to know Taylor better. And so Taylor, since this is your first time on the show, I want to give you an opportunity to introduce yourself and then we'll jump into the interview.
Yep. My name is indeed Taylor Phillips. I am the creator and leading host of the Michigan Sports Truth podcast. I made this podcast from the ground up. It was self-made. That was back in 2013 when I named it just Taylor's Detroit Sports, and then 2015 I added a little truth wording to my show, Detroit Sports Truth, and then a year later, the Michigan Sports Truth. So
Cool.
now it's the Michigan Sports Truth podcast.
Michigan Sports Truth Podcast. Y'all hear that part right there? The truth. So that's what he was like. Well, we're going to be talking about how we broadcast and how I talk about the sports, whether the people agree or not. The truth is
Exactly.
the
Yep.
truth. The stats are the stats, right?
Yep. The stats. The truth happens. The truth is out there. We observe it. We detect the truth. We observe Michigan sports.
So cool. So why did you decide to start the broadcast? Back in the day. I mean, what prompted you to be like, let's talk about what's happening in sports?
Well, here's the thing: the some of the mainstream media, Detroit's mainstream sports media in Detroit locally, like like they cover our teams, right? The Tigers, Lions, Red Wings, Pistons, Wolverines, and Spartans. Some just constantly like miss the mark or something like that. Others are just sleeping on the job or somehow whatever the case may be. But that's why people like us step in and point out the accurate details, whether it be statistics, research, and picking up on articles and whatnot that are more accurate than others from the Detroit Free Press, the Detroit News. We get the more logical articles from ESPN, Sportsnet up in Canada, TSN, or it could be anything. Like,
Okay.
but
But you
he,
really kind of dig in there and you kind of bring maybe the short details that some of the mainstream is bringing, kind of actually add more details and bring it to full life.
yeah, like some of the details that the mainstream media, that sports media in Detroit and the state of Michigan don't want you to know.
Mm,
And and I was inspired by that by what was once the Detroit Sports Rag, created by Jeff Moss, and he
mm,
still has a. And it was a web. It used to be a website, uh, like like a mature rated website
oh, okay.
created by Jeff Moss. It had a sponsor, Cali Tickets, but it was hard on the Detroit media because the Detroit, again, it, like I said, it kept missing the mark, and he and I can consider it lazy at times,
Mm,
and just call call it call it slappies, and and but now it's suspended for some reason, and Jeff Moss considered himself retired from running a website, but he still has a Twitter at Jeff Moss DSR.
Okay.
DSR for Detroit Sports Rag. But that's where I kind of stepped in and colored the rest of his paint picture. You know, like give the exact details. The main point. Um, that's why I created my Michigan Sports Truth podcast.
Okay, cool. So I heard you name off all of the teams there. So do you cover all of the sports in Michigan?
Yeah,
Soccer, the soccer that you have?
especially our major teams, whether it be pro or college.
Okay.
Yeah, sometimes it can be, sometimes or rarely it can be even teams outside the major market, but still in the state, like my Central Michigan Chippewas, the you know the one of the colleges that one of the two colleges that I graduated from. Also, the Western Michigan Broncos, they're arch rival. I'm aware of that, but I don't really care about rivalries.
Right.
Eastern Michigan Eagles, either minor league teams like the Grand Rapids Griffins, the Toledo Mudhens, West Michigan Whitecaps, even the Traverse City Pittsbitters. I can detect truth on them, but I love them to death because they have won two Northwoods League championships in just four calendar years. One one of them was washed out due to like an inter squad season with
Mm-hmm.
the Great Lakes Resorters in 2020 because of the pandemic. But other than that, the Pittsbitters are coming into this season without a Northwoods League championship, but they're trying to get it back. But other than that, it we focus on the major teams. That's what Detroit sports fans everywhere want to know. For example, Tigers fans are getting tired of Javier Baez making a lot of errors. Sometimes he can hit. Sometimes he can hit. He had a really good series at Target Field in Minneapolis, Minnesota, against the Minnesota Twins.
Mm-hmm.
Previously, the Tigers have a 3 game series homestand against the homestands against the Royals coming up tonight, starting tonight, and then the Minnesota Twins coming to town at Comerica Park this upcoming weekend.
Okay, cool.
And we spew out all those details because we care. We care so much. We absorb everything into our brain. We store everything
Truly.
because our fans, whether they like it or not, they need to know what the heck is going on,
Exactly.
and we get down to the bottom line.
And I think too, like with mainstream, a lot of times that's how people get divided in like their opinion of people and teams because you only hear a small piece of really what's going on or, why they're showing up, why they're not showing up, what's happening in the, within the team and team structure and stuff like that. So it's a
And
lot.
we criticize more than the loyal local media in Detroit does. That's one of the main points. Critique and concise.
Right.
That's part of our mission statement at the Michigan Sports Truth podcast. Unlike those other guys at Bally Sports Detroit, the Detroit Free Press, the Detroit News, 97 won the ticket, the flagship station of all Detroit professional sports teams, Tigers, Lions, Red Wings, Pistons. Sometimes they just make soft, lazy excuses like bad luck, the referees, the weather. The weather goes both ways. Officiating goes both ways. Luck goes both ways too. And and some and don't get me wrong. The local Detroit media is not the only one. Is not the only type of sports media that shills. There are other media outlets that cover other teams in America that go that route.
Mm-hmm.
But that's why. But either way, that's why we care.
Right, right. So
Sometimes we have to be hard to be care to care.
see, I was getting ready to say, so a lot of times when people hear that word critique, they're like, oh my gosh, they're just tearing them apart and just, but why is that critique so important? I mean, when you say critique, what does it mean to you opposed to like everybody's first impression? Oh my gosh, they're going to just tear us apart. It's going to be terrible. Da 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 da. They're going to say all kinds of
Well, it can
negative
be
stuff.
good or bad or in between. It always depends on what happens out there, and we see it. We see it. We read the stats. We scour everything.
Okay. Okay. And how often is your podcast on?
It's on a weekly basis, except this upcoming weekend I may take the weekend off, but it's every Sunday usually at 9:30. It started at around 10ish last night, but we still got it. Ed Smith and I got it done. Me and my weekly co-host,
Okay.
and
Cool.
and we do and we stream on multiple outlets on StreamYard via StreamYard, Facebook, YouTube at the Michigan Sports Truth Podcast, and on Twitter at Michigan_Truth.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome. So did you play sports?
I used to play sports. I used to play well, a little. I played baseball through all my 4 high school years, but that was it. I only played golf for my sophomore high school year, but that was it. These are all the sports that I played. But when I went into college, I just pursued broadcasting.
Okay. Okay. Awesome. So yeah, so I like sports, and I like to know, a little bit about the players. I don't can't say that I know all details. Like I probably couldn't come on the show with you and Emmett and talk. I'd be like, really? I can make myself seem interesting, but but I love to hear about sports. I love to hear about the teams because I played a little softball when I was way, way back in the day. And so, and I took stats for like the basketball team and things like that. So I like sports and I think it's a fun time for the family to get together and things like that. So what's your feeling, about sporting events and family time around that?
Well, all the family. Well, my dad and I used to play catch when I was young, and we also love watching the Tigers play on TV.
Mhm.
And lately, once a year, he and I have been going to Traverse City Pittsburgh's games.
Okay.
Yep, and we just have a good time, especially for fathers. We do those Traverse City Pittsburgh's games for Father's Day
Hmm.
once each year, and
That's cool.
yeah, it's a great way to spend quality time together.
Exactly. And I think that's the thing, sometimes it becomes, that tradition, like even with the Super Bowl and things like that. It's always like,
Yeah,
okay, well, whose house is it going to be at? Everybody's got their little bit and you can come together and kind of, you know, um
yeah, we watched the Super Bowl together too.
yeah, harass each other a little bit about your team, but still at the end of the day come out having a good time and enjoying time together and enjoying watching the game, right?
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, and yeah, we observe for the heck of it too when we watch it together.
Has your dad ever been on the show with you?
Um, no, no, not really, but he does appreciate me for what I do on my podcast
Right,
from
right.
time to time.
Well, cool. That's fun. So, what's Emmett? So you said Emmett's your co-host.
Ed Smith.
Ed. Okay, he's your co-host.
Yep, Ed Smith. You can follow him on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, and subscribe on YouTube at EdSmith313. And for
Now,
me, I'm on Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram and YouTube at DT2Phillips with 2 L's. DT the number 2 Phillips with 2 L's. And Oh, Ed Smith is on Twitch, not TikTok, at Ed Smith 313. But I'm on Twitch, DT2 Phillips 1984.
Okay, okay. I'll make sure I put all of that in the description of the video. But so do you and Ed, do you find yourself sometimes, are you pretty much together on
Oh
your
yeah,
opinions? Okay.
oh yeah. We just it's not just opinion. It's not just opinion based.
Right.
It's based on mostly on truth
Mm,
that's out there. It happens. We observe it.
okay. Yeah, but some people can observe their perspective on what they've observed is a little bit
Yeah,
different than somebody else's.
we
So I
dig
just
deep on
want
it too. That's how
to.
we describe what's going on.
Okay. Sweet. So how long has he been co-hosting with you?
Since 2015, he and I have been co-hosts for together for 8 years now.
Sweet. Awesome. I love it. So what's your favorite sport though to talk about and to go into? I know you
Um,
cover everything, but what's your favorite?
my first favorite sport is baseball to watch. I used to play it. Hockey is my second, personally.
Mm,
Um, and then there's a tie for third between football and basketball.
okay, okay. I like hockey. I like hockey. I really like the sport, but it gets a little too what's the word I want to say without being.
Feisty.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
The
like,
fights, yeah, it's rough. Yeah,
but I'm like, now football, they'll find you for doing a little dance in the end zone. But here we have hockey, and they're just
or
like,
just penalize you 15 yards for unsportsmanlike conduct assessed on the upcoming kickoff.
yeah,
Nowadays they don't fine you anymore. They just
um,
throw a penalty flag.
gotcha, okay.
I think that seems more fair.
But then we have hockey where people just really just beating each other up, and doing all this stuff, and I'm like, what are
Yeah,
you
old
doing
time
here?
hockey. That was back then. Player safety is now. So,
Wow. But
yep.
I like the sport,
There
so
are still fights. There
mhm.
are still brawls too, but in all serious, player safety is what matters most.
Mhm. True. It should have mattered a long time ago. I just don't think I could l- sit and watch like my child or my husband or whoever play hockey. I just be like, I'll be rooting you on, but I can't watch.
Well, I watch. Sometimes I don't have to root for them, but I observe because I but at least I still care.
Right, right. You still care. And I appreciate you observing. For people like me, I can just come on your podcast and see, what's going on.
Hey, you're always welcome to.
And so I think that's cool because a lot of times, people are working so many jobs and doing so many different things that they don't get to enjoy sports like they used to. Like I really used to watch sports a lot, but I just don't anymore. But I like having a place where I can, tune in and find out the latest updates and find out what's going on, find out the latest scores, find out where my team ranks in the whole scheme of things. So
Yeah, that's exactly a part of what we do here. We we uh, we do all of those things. So,
cool. Yeah. So
yep, got to keep the flow going.
And I really think it's so interesting because you're like, just the truth. We observe it. This is so, I know what I'm getting from you is cool. But like I said, I don't even know really even the Michigan teams, but I've watched a couple of your podcasts before and I was like, okay, they're really serious about this. So, yeah.
We always are, 100% of the time.
I love it. And and I appreciate, your support of our broadcast. You've been really supporting us. And
Thanks.
so,
Yeah.
you know,
Absolutely.
we're about making connections because we have people who follow us who love sports. And so now hopefully we can introduce them to your podcast and they know they can go and find things. So like say if somebody say in my area in North Carolina or whatever is like, okay, Taylor, so what do you think about, let's just say,
The Tar Heels?
yeah, let's just say Tar Heels. Would you do you engage with those?
They
You have stats for them and everything too?
well, Well, we just cover the Michigan teams, but we are I do run a second sports show, a national sports show called
Oh, okay.
True Sports. I'm on with Louis Tenor on that, just to keep to at least keep him company, and yeah, Roy Williams, the North Carolina Tar Heels men's basketball team was well coached by one Roy Williams by name. He was a legendary coach for those
Mm-hmm.
Heels.
Mm-hmm.
He's retired. He's already now retired, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, he won them national championships.
Yeah. Yeah. Good team for sure. Yes. Okay. So that's cool. I just want to make sure if we send somebody your way and they be like, just let me, just let's talk about it. What's your opinion about this? And they can still have good conversations. So that's cool. When is your
Yeah.
other podcast on?
Oh, True
When is it aired?
Sports. It's like I said. It's on. It's national sports, all sports, Major League
Okay.
Baseball, uh, NFL, NHL, NBA, and college football too. And every episode, I allow him to do his True Sports report, going over the headlines. And it's more than just baseball, football, hockey, and basketball. Even
Okay.
golf, even WNBA, even soccer, tennis, everything else.
Oh, sweet.
So
Yes. We're covering it all. I love it. I love it.
the
Just
entire
recently kind
package.
of my uncle played golf, and so we watch it a little bit, but I really only recently started really, you know, getting into the ins and outs and like, their scholarships. And that's one of the things about sports. There's so many different types of scholarships. Like there's a lot of golf scholarships for people, but the money's just sitting there because people don't want to play golf. They think they have to play football or basketball or, those main sports. But if you really
Golf
open
is
it,
kind of hard to play.
yeah, but there's scholarships if you want to go to school, get on the team and do your best, right?
Good
That's
point.
really what you do on any team. Is you get on there and you learn and you hopefully improve and you
The
just do
college
your
level.
best.
Ah, I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That's part of the learning experience from high school to college, even the minors, and then the pros. You
Mm,
gotta mentally and physically work your way up.
yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. And so, if you say somebody's watching and they're like, "What are really the odds of just a local person who's kind of not the not how do I want to say it? I don't like to like be degrading, but not the best player, but has good skills. You know what I'm saying? If what's the
Yeah.
odds of them actually moving up those ranks and playing professional ball? Like what would you tell them? Like stay committed, continue to learn your craft. What would be like some?
Well, some, we uh, we observe analytics. That's what it depends on. That's what the odds depend on. Like
Gotcha.
say the Vegas odds have had the Vegas Golden Knights beating the Florida Panthers in the Stanley Cup final, and the Knights won the Stanley Cup in 5 games, including
Mm.
Game 5. Wow, 9-3. Whoever thought of that? That holy cow! I knew Vegas was going to win, but like this, that's an odds breaker right there. I mean, like, got it. I mean, he took the. I mean, he still got a. It's still hit the over anyway, but in that kind of fashion, wow, that's skyrocketing. I saw the whole game too.
Mhm.
So
Okay.
yeah, there's that.
There's that. So, but analytics are good. It's good to know. What the other teams are doing. How they're winning. What kind of plays are they playing. I mean, you really in anything, I think you have to observe people who are in that arena, right? So
Yep.
you can't just go out on the field and be like, I'm just going to play my game, and it doesn't matter what the other team is doing. You don't know if they're
Yeah, it
good
doesn't
on
work that way.
defense or offense. That's not good, right?
Yeah, that doesn't work that way.
Yeah, I hear you. So listen, it's all about giving people information, and information is important, right?
Yes.
Well, Taylor, I tell you what, hold on for us. We usually take a little break halfway between the show. So we're going to take a small break and stay with us. We'll be back with more with Taylor Phillips from the Michigan. Tell me the name.
The Michigan Sports Truth Podcast.
Sports Truth. I always want to say it the other way around. But the Michigan Sports Truth Podcast. So stay with us. We'll be right back.
I cannot stand the thought of you with another dude touching you, doing all the things that we used to do. Finding out that you're hot, whether you try or not, whether you ready or not. They gonna be calling you out, they gonna be seeing a lot, trying to break us up, all of the stuff they say they be making up. Yeah, you're sexy and you're classy, ooh, you're nasty when you wanna be. I wanna know, where did you go? You couldn't take no more. I found a note left on the door. Says that I am faking with my hesitating, and I'm the reason we are breaking. 7 long days I was waiting for you. 7 long nights I was waiting for you. Waiting all day, waiting all day, waiting all day. 7 long days I was waiting for you. 7 long nights I was waiting for you. Waiting all day, waiting all day, waiting all day.
Hey, hey, everybody. I was muted, sorry. Welcome back to Making Connections with Aly. Listen, this is Juneteenth, and so I like the last thing we ended with. Let's commemorate the past so we can build a better future. Kind of like, the information that Taylor gives, if the teams, even if the teams listen to Taylor's, analytics and views of how the game is going, they might get some insight. And I'm sure they do tap into certain broadcasts and articles and things like that to see what the public opinion is, or where they might be seeing some holes or what have you. But we have to commemorate the past to build a better future. And the song you were listening to was Seven Long Days by Clayton Savage. That is his latest album called Legion. So if you haven't downloaded it yet, make sure you go to your favorite streaming platform and download Legion. All right. And we've been talking with Taylor Phillips from the Michigan Sports Truth podcast. All right. So, what do you think they listen to is that a good idea for like, there's got to be somebody on the team, right?
Oh,
With their ear to the ground.
well,
Listen.
I mean, I got the Lions at 12-5 this upcoming season because they've added so much talent, especially at corner back, not quarterback, but cornerback, like a secondary defender, like passing defense, like Emmanuel Mosley from I think the Cincinnati Bengals, Cam Sutton of the Pittsburgh Steelers, and C.J. Gardner Johnson from the defending NFC champion Philadelphia Eagles. They almost won the Super Bowl. They almost did.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah, but
Cool.
the Kansas City Chiefs were just too good.
Yeah, I mean that was a good game. Now I was into that game, and I was like, I really wasn't pulling for the Kansas City Chiefs, but it's okay. but
Yeah,
it was a good game. They played hard, both teams,
yeah.
to come out with that victory. Yeah. So who's one of your favorite players of, like, say, baseball? And what do you like about their strategy, their talent, whatever it is?
Well, I think I could go with the most favorite, my most favorite players of all time, like Cecil Fielder, like hitting long bombs at the old Tiger Stadium when he was playing for the Tigers, and then Brendan Shanahan, a very notorious goal scorer
Hmm.
for the Detroit Red Wings, scoring goals from sharp angles and sniping shots, top shelf, one timing rockets into the back of the net. He won 3 Stanley Cups with the Wings, three,
Oh, wow.
and
That's major.
he was a major goal scorer.
Yeah, that's cool. And it's always good to have one of those on the team, right?
Yes.
I love it. I love it. So when do you think, like, let's just say with basketball, where do you think a lot of games, like, those tight games are won? Is it at the free throw lines that add up those points?
It could be any aspect: the free throw line, the 3 point line, or inside the perimeter, or inside the post, or near the post.
Mm, so it's just all about getting in wherever you are, right?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
cool.
Whether it be the Pistons or the Wolverines and Spartans.
So for that, so like the Pistons though, where do you think their strong point lies though? Is it in their offense or defense?
Well, right now the Pistons are trying to get out of the basement of the NBA. They used to uh, they used to be so good in the mid two in the 2000s when they had that big starting five, that mighty starting five: Ben Wallace, Rasheed Wallace, Richard Rip Hamilton, Chauncey Billups, and Tayshaun Prince. That was the going to work era that won an NBA championship in 2004 and won an Eastern Conference championship in 2005. They came up just one game short against the San Antonio Spurs, uh, but they kept staying the course, and they just didn't adapt. That's why they didn't repeat. I got that information from a YouTube video, and
Mhm.
yeah, they could have added at least even more talent, even higher talent than just trading Corliss Williamson and Mehmet Okur for Antonio McDyess, who was just absolutely struggling from the free throw line. Could just almost could not hit a free throw at all. That's one of the That was one of the flaws that the Pistons were having. One of the flaws, one big flaw that McDyess was having, starting in 2005.
Hmm. Now, those did you name? Was that the Fab Five?
No, that was Michigan.
Those Michigan. Oh, okay, okay,
That was the early '90s or so.
okay, okay.
Yeah,
'Cause somebody sent a message and they were like, "Ask about the legacy of the Fab Five." I was like, "Okay."
oh yeah, like that was including Juwan Howard. Uh, that's actually the only um, I can look it up right now, to be honest.
Listen, we'll both be in the same place.
Yeah, but anyway, but yeah, the Fab Five was awesome.
Mm. So that was just a question. So we can always, we always leave comments later on if somebody asks a question or something. We can
Yeah,
always.
the Fab Five was the 1991 University of Michigan men's basketball team recruiting class. Chris Webber, that's right. Jalen Rose, Juwan Howard, Jimmy King, and Austin Jackson. Oh, or not Austin, but Ray Jackson rather,
Okay.
from Austin, Texas. Plano's Jimmy King and Austin's Ray Jackson. Juwan Howard was a native from Chicago. Jalen Rose and Chris Webber were Detroit natives.
Mm, those names that when you said Chris Webber, I was like, oh yeah, I do remember his name. So awesome. Listen, it's just about coaching. So let's talk about coaching because people always rag on the coaches, right?
Well,
And
speaking of head coaches, speaking of coaches, Juwan Howard is still the Juwan Howard is the men's basketball coach for the Michigan
okay.
Wolverines.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, but it depends on whether they're doing good or bad or in between. Yeah, sometimes they deserve criticism, but that's the way it goes.
Right. I mean, everybody, I think every position really. I mean, I don't. I have seen some people like Kansas City Chiefs. What's their quarterback's name?
Patrick Mahomes.
Patrick Mahomes. Now, to me, just my opinion. Y'all know I don't really get into sports like that, so y'all don't get mad. But to me, he seemed kind of cocky the first year that they went to the Super Bowl. That's just to me. I feel like this time when he showed up, he was more like team acclimated, trying to lead the team. So, you have times where there are people, I mean, if it's your first time being in the spotlight, sometimes you can get that way, right? But we always have to, but then we're so quick to tear people down, but you have to give them grace, you have to support, you have to still, be there. And
Yeah,
if you're a fan, be a fan, right?
yeah. I create segments like "What's your grade?" 5 questions. I started doing that when it's uh, back in the old days with Ed when he got that when he was chosen by me as a as the first co-host of the
Okay.
program.
Hmm. And what was that about? What's your grade? What was that?
Oh, like a free agent signing or a trade or coaching hiring or a general manager hiring.
Okay, okay. So they
Yeah,
had
could be anything. Yeah,
the standards they were looking for. Is that what that means?
yeah. It depends on how much money the team throws at the player or pays the player, or when it's a trade or a free agency signing, or
Mm,
or a hiring of a coach or a general manager.
okay,
So
okay. Yeah, and there's a lot of incentives and things
yeah,
that go behind that too. Yeah. Listen, you need to get you a some kind of sponsorship, Taylor.
yeah. I need to get more. I need to get a bigger audience first before I do. I gotta earn that sponsorship.
There you go. But I can see you doing it because I mean you are. I can tell that you're serious about this. I can tell that when you give the stats, they're not just opinions because you corrected me on that earlier. But it's stats. It's what the people need. So the truth, the truth will set us free. The truth helps us to be the best people we want to be, right? Whether it's in business, whether it's in sports, whether it's, you know, just being a family member, right? Or a friend. You want those friends and family members to tell you the truth, right? We don't like it all the time, but it really does help the
We
situation.
all have to speak truth, especially when it happens.
Mm-hmm.
It's part of that's a lot like life in general.
Mm-hmm. Truly. And so, yeah, I'm with you. Yay for Taylor.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, what kind of, you said something was coming up this weekend. Who is that playing this weekend?
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna be on vacation actually.
Hmm. But you were saying
So,
there's somebody playing this weekend, some upcoming games this weekend.
just the Tigers and Twins at Comerica Park. That's it.
Okay.
So,
And
yeah, yeah, not much else. To,
who do you think's gonna win? I want to get your prediction based
well,
on
the
the
Tigers,
stats.
the Tigers did take 3 out of 4. Um, if I had to predict randomly, but the Minnesota Twins are 36-36, and they lead the American League Central Division. Uh, it's a team with an exactly 500 record. A first place team in a division or a conference is supposed to have a much better record than that,
Hmm.
but it's 36-36 for the Minnesota Twins. The Tigers are 30-40, third place, but the Kansas City Royals bringing up the rear 19-52 or 19-52. The Guardians and White Sox are somewhere in the mix. Yeah, are in between are in the mix as well. The other two teams in the division, but that's why I. But the first place team is at only at 500 and not above. That's why I call it the AL Comedy Central Division.
You didn't tell
Kind
me
of
that.
like a parody.
Oh God, I can see it. I can see that. Oh gosh, well, cool. Well, I listen. This has been fun. I definitely, um, come back. You're welcome anytime. Um,
Absolutely.
like I said, maybe we can discuss. You got something going on. You like, look, watch this game, and let's come back on and talk about it because this game is going to provide all the thrills, all the feels and everything with it. So, you're always welcome to come back. You are part of the Making Connections family. Is there anything else you would like to share though before we go? Just about sports in general, about the podcast, anything like that?
Well, again, you can find my podcast on YouTube. Subscribe to it at the Michigan Sports Truth Podcast, and subscribe to it and turn on all notifications on the bell icon. Also on Facebook, like the page, follow it, follow it on Twitter and Instagram at Michigan_Truth. Yeah, yeah, I upload the episode video the episode videos on Instagram as well,
Okay.
and and yeah, I can also broadcast it live on my Twitch, DT2 Phillips 1984. Follow me on Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram at DT2 Phillips, and subscribe to my YouTube channel as well at DT2 Phillips.
Yeah.
And,
You got it
and
right
then
there on the screen
for
for you.
my co-host again, Ed Smith, at Ed Smith 313 on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitch.
Okay. Yeah, so definitely go follow Taylor. I think I just put your information. I didn't put the Michigan book. Look at what are we looking at?
Yeah, it's a magnifying. It's a prop. See, that magnifying glass on the logos?
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
you.
I had someone design it firsthand in 2016, and then sent it to me in a photo, and I saved it on my phone.
Uh-huh.
I always have it saved on my phone, so that way I can keep using it whenever I have to.
I love it.
And
Yeah.
that's why I also came up with this magnifying glass, a real one at that, in person, just to use as a prop.
Because what are you looking for in that magnifying glass? Taylor?
Well, as a I could use that as a metaphor to detect truth and observe Michigan sports. Detect truth on that.
Yes. See it clearer
That's the
and
key.
better. Awesome. Well, Alan, if you'll show Taylor's, I think this is for his TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and I think YouTube. If you'll show his
Yep.
channel one more
YouTube. Yep.
time at DT Phillips,
At DT the number
DT
two
two
Phillips.
Phillips. There you go. So I'll
Yep.
make sure I add that, and I'll go back and get your the links for the show as well,
All
and
right.
put them in the description of the video. And so you guys go like him, follow Taylor, and listen to him and Ed because look, they be serious about what they're doing. And so, Taylor, we appreciate you. You guys know we are making connections with Aly. We're here every Saturday at 12 noon and every Monday at 2 p.m. We know that we're on Facebook and we have an Instagram account. This is how I say it, Taylor. We're on Facebook. We have an Instagram account. And of course, our shows also go to our Facebook account, Making Connections with Aly. Um, I don't know if Alan has our little QR code or not that you can scan and go to our Facebook page, but subscribe. And what I was going to tell y'all something else.
Oh yeah, I found the live episode with us. Yes, I subscribe to your channel too.
It's on YouTube. All right.
Yep.
Yay.
Yep. And then I'm gonna go to my Michigan Sports Truth podcast YouTube channel and subscribe to
See,
yours as well.
see, that's how we do it. It's that easy. So I'll
Yep.
subscribe to yours after I get off here. And so we can follow and encourage one another and give each other shout outs. But listen, whenever you have something you like,
Subscribed.
I want to come on the show and talk about this. Let's do it because I love conversation. And so again, we are here Sundays. I mean, not Sundays. Mondays at 2, Saturdays at 12, and then we replay a show on Thursdays because we've been doing this for 5 years now. So we always replay some of the older shows on Thursdays because it was still good content. So if you guys have any questions for Taylor, something you want to come back on and discuss, make sure you leave a comment, but definitely go follow him, okay? We want to see Taylor more often and hear from him. See,
All right.
you get a magnifying glass so next time you're on, I'll be like, I see you, Taylor. I spot the truth.
I'm a
All
truth
right.
detective.
That's it. That's
Michigan
it.
Sports Truth Detective. That's one of my nicknames from here on forward.
I was curious to say. There you go. You heard it here first, guys. All right. Well, you take care, and you guys know we wish you all the best. Make sure you enjoy your day. Juneteenth is Freedom Day. You know, truly live free. Um, be the best person that you can be. Follow us, subscribe. We got some new things coming out. Oh, this is what I'm going to tell you. So, you also know that every fourth Monday is James Thompson. He's with us every fourth Monday, bringing us inspiration and motivation. And every fourth Saturday is our food show reviews. So make sure you tap into those because these food show reviews be really good. So until next time, as always, we're leaving you with love, positivity, and good vibes. Bye, Taylor. Like that
See
cup.
ya.